And we are live. What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley. And yo, you know what this is. We back again. Another week. We got the fan show popping today. Regular, everyday sports fans, just like me, just like you. Hey, come on, talk your trash, thump your chest. Hey, and if your team losing, hey, I told you I got this. I got a lounge over here. So I'm your sports therapist. Come and tell me all your problems. We can talk it out. I'm a Jaguar fan, people. You know what I'm saying? So I understand your pain. But, man, introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah, I'm Jason Scott. Thanks for having me. Longtime Jaguars fan, Jacksonville native, also a Florida State Seminoles fan. So, tough year. It's a tough year, man. It's embarrassing.
Double trouble, man. So I didn't know that, man. Look, man, let me get I got a bottle in the kitchen, man. I get a bottle for you, and we drink our problems away, bro.
I don't know if a bottle will do the trick. I need something hard.
Hey, me need something harder than that. Hey, man, I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Dog, that's rough, man. Florida State and Jacksonville, man. But let's get the Jaguars out the way, man, because dude, Sunday, which I'm not surprised about what happened necessarily, because I had been called Joe Burrow hitting us with the Heisman and lighting us up the way he did. I kind of figured it was coming because the DBs and the defense period is suspect anyway. So I just didn't think Joe Mixon, who's on my fantasy team, so I wasn't too upset. 150 and 3 touchdowns. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, they have been okay against the run this year. Even against Derrick Henry, they did okay.
Right.
Team's been throwing all over them, so I knew that was going to happen. But I was a little surprised that Mixon did what he did, too. We did have injuries in the secondary, though. Henderson went out.
Didn't Miles Jack got hurt, never returned?
Yeah, he did. I think
DJ Hayden got hurt, never returned.
Oh, it was DJ Hayden. Maybe not Herndon. It was DJ Hayden, but
Herndon, I think. Yeah, man, we hit a couple of injuries, man, and dude, the team is not good enough to sustain injuries. Like, not. You saw without DJ Chark, it's a bunch of guys running routes out there. It's not like they're wide receivers. Now Laviska, Laviska is going to be good, man. Laviska should not. Laviska is going to be good, man. I was so happy when they took him. And then James Robinson is a beast. And how do you go away from him? He had 17 carries. He should have had 30.
Yeah, I thought going into the game that, especially knowing how the defense has been struggling, that they would feed him more since he's shown that he can get yardage consistently. One thing I say about James Robinson is that whatever yardage that the line blocks for, he will at least get you that. A lot of times he'll get you more, but because he has the vision, he'll at least get you the yards that you block for. And that will put you keep you ahead of the sticks that you gave to him more.
Right. And his vision is pretty good, man. And he has a bit of a it is reminiscent of Fred just a little bit. It's not as pretty as Fred because Fred had the little bunny hop, but he can dance a little bit, but he doesn't dance much. Once he hits the hole, it's downhill, putting cleats in your chest. And he ain't trying to spin or be a finesse back at 230 pounds like our former back, he who shall not be named. Still got love for him, though.
Yeah, I wish him well. I wish him well.
I wish him well, man. I'm sharing us to a few groups right now, man, so people could tune in, man. But let's okay. So all right, we know what the Jaguars are, man. So man, it is what it is. But let's go into, man. We just talked about it. Jalen Ramsey and Golden Tate. Now, this is my take on it. Okay, I understand you want to defend the honor of your sister or whatever because you felt like Jalen did her wrong. I mean, me personally, like, unless he put his hands on her or did something really, really foul, you should leave it be. I mean, she chose to be in that relationship. But this is my thing. Even if you got all this smoke for Jalen, and I'm fine with that. Why you wait a year to get at him and wait till after a football game? Both of you are men of means. So you could have made this happen as soon as the beef started. Could have been in the same city, same town. Go to a Walmart parking lot in Tupelo, Mississippi, and duke it out, and you could have been done with this. But you wait until after an NFL game, and you jeopardize your money because Jalen got the Rams on hook for $100 million. Golden Tate is disposable.
Yeah, I think Golden Tate was the one with the issue since it's his sister. I guess he was the one bringing the issue to Jalen, but Golden Tate to me is a hypocrite because I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he sleeping with Russell Wilson's first wife or something like that?
Yes, he was. That's allegedly. Let's do this. Allegedly, he was sleeping with Russell Wilson's wife. Yes, he was, which is the reason why he got traded. Yeah, they say that's why they traded him from Seattle. Yeah. And Russell is now married to Sierra. Yes, that is true. So that's hypocritical, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a harp on the alleged point. You're right. Allegedly. And just me personally, my views don't reflect the views of this show, but I personally believe it. Personally. And I find it very hypocritical. I mean, if you respect the boundaries of relationships and you don't believe you should be dealing with people outside of the relationship, that not only means you should be faithful to your own partner, but you should also respect other people's relationship and not be the other guy. The fact that you did that, and then Jalen cheats on your sister, I mean, you shouldn't be upset about it.
What's all the beef, man? Come on, Tate, man, get out of here, man. But watching them struggle against the Giants, though. I mean, even though the Giants are they're not where they're not a contender right now, but they are a pesky team. Even without Saquon, Daniel Jones. I mean, who knows? I wasn't really sold on him coming out of Duke anyway, but who knows? Because I will eat this. I was on the Josh Allen trash bandwagon, bro. I was. I was.
I didn't think I was coming out, and they was even talking about it during the broadcast yesterday in their game against the Raiders. I forget who was calling the game, but the anchor guy, the main guy, was asking whoever the color analyst, the person who come in.
Yeah, color analyst. Yeah.
They were talking to each other about, did you? I gotta call you out because I know you didn't think much of Josh Allen, when he was first drafted, and he was like, man, I haven't seen in a guy's third year him make such a jump.
I mean, a leap.
Because he was raw, he was really raw, and now he looks polished, very polished.
Yes, he does.
They are a serious dark horse Super Bowl team.
Yes, they are.
He keeps playing like this.
Yes, they are. I know he got hurt, but he's tough as nails. He got hurt Sunday, fell on that I think his left arm very awkwardly, but came back, man. Came back. Yeah. And then that touchdown, that was a touchdown to John Brown. Like if that wasn't a touchdown that John Brown caught that they ruled down at the one, what is a touchdown? Because that was a touchdown to me.
Yeah, I saw the highlight, but I didn't see like the slow down replay. It went from that play to the next play that they scored on. But I mean, just in live action, it did look like he got in. What you think about the officiating so far this season?
It's been trash. Oh, Jakari, what's up, Jakari? Jakari said while she was pregnant. Yeah, she was pregnant when he left her. He was, she was pregnant. But hey, that's the game, man. Hey, it is what it is. She understood what it was. Jalen has been Jalen probably his whole life. Like he didn't just turn into Jalen Ramsey now. So hey, that's on her.
And it's not even just Jalen. You time you deal with a man who has options like that, and
high value man.
It's a chance it's gonna happen. A chance it's gonna happen. So
I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But officiating has been poor, man. Just it's been poor. I mean, a lot of blown calls, wrong calls. One of the most egregious calls, and I'm a little biased, but the refs throwing Cam Robinson out of the Dolphins game. Like, what are we doing here? What's the accomplishment here? Because you basically are, everybody's leaning on this man. Everybody's on top of him, leaning on top of him. You don't know if you're, get off me. You don't know if he got an injury or he's hurt. You're pressing on something. You don't know. These guys, they just digging all on top of him. He's like, hey, get off me. So yeah, that was egregious, man, for sure.
You saw how Harrison Smith got thrown out of the Texans game?
No, I did not. I didn't see how he got through out. I heard he got through out.
He hit the tight end Akins, I think. Akins caught it down the seam.
Okay.
The tight end Watson hit him. And then when he caught it, I guess he came with his head. He kind of came with his head. And usually just a 15-yard penalty, they threw him out the game. It didn't seem like any worse than any 15-yard penalty they normally call. I don't know why they threw him out.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. See, John Brown is a quiet fantasy assassin. Yeah, John Brown been killing the fantasy for sure. And he said, I'm glad they didn't call P.I. Miles Jack INT. Yo, I was iffy on the Miles Jack INT was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You saw when he took it out of the tight end hands. That was beautiful, man. But from I didn't think it would be PI, but I was worried a little bit because I thought they would give if they called it shared possession, shared possession goes to the receiver. So I thought that they would call that
with the Chark touchdown, but there was a difference. Miles Jack clearly took that away from him before they hit the ground. So I thought that was a good call, but when I saw it on replay, that's when I was like, oh, it might have dodged the bullet a little bit because anytime you just go up and you're not looking for the ball, and they know you know how they be doing Jags with the calls. So it's crazy. You went. Oh yeah.
I know exactly. I know exactly how they do us, man. Let's see. Oh man, here go David. He's a Titans fan, man. He's a Titans fan. Hey, one of my best memories with David, bro. Titan fans I know him. Best memories with David. I'll never forget it. And I love David. David took me to Thursday night game when we played the Tennessee Titans. And when we played the Tennessee Titans, that was when that was Gardner Minshew ripped them up. And I don't know I think it was 23-8 or it was something like that. And we set up, we'll pay, got the military discount on the tickets. And he was talking trash all before the game, right? And so early on in the game, when I seen that big play over Malcolm Butler, I said, hey, David, Gardner found his whipping boy. I say, watch, everywhere 2-1 go, the ball is going to go. Yeah. And sure enough, they killed Malcolm Butler in that game.
They did the last when we played them this year.
Dude, yeah. They can't do. Malcolm Butler is not good. He's not good. He said, they'll his with face guard and PI quick.
He's kind of like the Odell catch. His Super Bowl interception is like the Odell catch. Like, he got famous off of that, and he really has not lived up to that standard of play. Malcolm Butler hasn't since that Super Bowl. I mean, at times he's been good in spots, but just on the Titans as a whole, I can't stand them, but I gotta respect them. They're just that team that, like, how, you have a girl that's like really beautiful, and then the dude that she's with, you wonder how he got her. They don't play like they don't look like the Chiefs. They don't look like the Ravens. They don't look like the Seahawks when they play, but they just keep winning. What I classified Tennessee as is toughness, because I put it like this: every time the Jaguars think we got a tough team and we're tough, they come and punch us in the mouth and show us we ain't that tough. Every time, every single time. So it's just one of those things, man. You say, that's Coming to America. So there's a God somewhere. Yeah. He said Malcolm have nightmares about Chark. Yeah, Malcolm Butler do have nightmares about Chark, for sure. But I mean,
we them boys.
We can't do nothing with them, man. And I think me personally, getting back to the Jaguars, Doug Marrone has to go, man. Doug Marrone has to go.
Get rid of all of them.
Has to go. All these guys. I wish Shad Khan could go, because he's the reason why they all still here. But what do I think?
Yeah, I said it. I said they shouldn't have it. Dude, watching Sunday and watching Jalen Ramsey ball out, watching Yannick Ngakoue play well for the Vikings, watching Calais Campbell dominate with the Ravens, watching Malik Jackson absolutely decapitate Joe Burrow a week ago. And I seen last night where they were on the goal line against San Francisco, and the ref spotted the ball, and Malik took his foot and pushed the ball back with his foot when the ref wasn't looking. Yeah, dude, I miss those guys, man. Though that 17 defense, the majority of those guys, man, Marcel Darius, all those guys, man. You should. I understand a couple of them were long in the tooth, and you wasn't going to be able to keep everybody because you was going to have to pay Jalen what you paid him. You was going to have to pay Yannick Ngakoue. You was going to have to pay a lot of those guys. So I understand not being able to pay everybody, but you should at least kept Jalen. You kept the wrong players. You kept Miles Jack. Out of all of them, you should have kept Yannick and Jalen. You could have let Miles Jack walk.
They gave all the wrong people the money. When you kind of come through static, do you hear static from you?
Yeah, I am getting some static. I'm getting some static on this end. Let me see.
Oh, I think I got that same mic. While you doing that, I just say that we paid the wrong people. We paid Blake Bortles big money. We paid Andrew Norwell big money. We gave Mike Lee pretty good money. And the guys who are making plays for us is looking at it and it's like, okay, you want to act funny when it's time to pay me, and I'm actually out here putting in work. You guys suck. It's like when you bag groceries after they're done here, you giving them all the money. It's weird and it's sad.
Oh yeah. See, where's the Barcoon Scott? We're gonna have to dig in the DB bag next game. Man, DB bag. We don't have any DBs, man. We're out of DBs. If we were a grocery store, we'd be out of stock right now on defensive backs. I mean, it just is what it is, man. You got a bunch of young guys. I mean, and they knew what this was going to be. You put 16 rookies on the roster. I mean, what exactly did you think was going to happen? Yeah, they play early in spots, but dude, they're young guys. Consistency is not a young guy's game.
Yeah, I guess it was a little bit of fool's gold, that game against Indy. The defense was really terrible in that game, aside from 2 interceptions.
Well, he went for 450 yards or something like that.
They got 2 interceptions and a 4th down stop. If that defense doesn't force turnovers, they're gonna look like the Cowboys looked against the Browns yesterday, pretty much every week, man.
Oh my God!
We got to talk about that. But I still think this team can win with Gardner, because
he's way down on the list of problems that we have. Gardner is not even in the top 5 of problems that we have.
Yeah, because he knows anytime the offense punts, we're going down another score. That's too much pressure to put on a young quarterback.
Right. And young guys going to tend to press anyway. And you can see it when he's pressing, you can see it. He starts to play hero ball. Yeah, he starts to play hero ball. They bring back the mayor. Man, I wish we hadn't let Calais go, man. That was the guy, man. I love Calais. But hey,
I would say he about to get him a ring, but he can't beat Mahomes. They can't beat the Chiefs.
Oh man, until they could slay the beast, Baltimore's gonna have to see Mahomes for the next decade. So they got to figure it out. They figure it out soon.
Yeah,
very soon.
I don't know what to tell them. Like, because it takes them, when they play the Chiefs, it takes them out of their game. They like to play from, they like to be ahead so they can use the running game and then play action off of that. He don't allow them to do that because they be up in the game, they keep scoring, and Lamar has to, play the drop back game. which
Yeah,
isn't quite
and
as good as Mahomes.
and part of them losing to the Chiefs was coaching as well, because their offense, what they run, it works. It works. It works. They need to continue to run the football. It works. Lamar, he tends to press. He was pressing against the Chiefs. That's what a lot of young guys do. They start to press and they play hero ball. So
But
continue to
see,
run the ball.
the Chiefs made Lamar feel like Gardner feels every week. If I punt the ball, we going down another score. And you see now they rated Lamar Jackson the #1 player in the top 100. So if that can happen to him, you know it can happen to Gardner Minshew. You can't put your quarterback in that type of position. The only quarterbacks who can really deal with a terrible defense is players like Mahomes, Prime Brady, Prime Peyton Manning. The
Rodgers
is the only ones who could really, Rodgers. They're the only ones that could really deal with that. No other quarterbacks, even many of the good ones, it's hard to deal with if you know every time you punt, you're in trouble.
Yeah, they do got a bunch of zone DBs. We need man-to-man, and they're going to tear the zone up every time. Yeah, if you don't get pass rush, dude, they're going to eat the zone up, man. You got to get pass rush. But it's a guy who's developing a skill for playing with a terrible defense, and that's Mr. Dak Prescott. And speaking of the Cowboys and Browns, dude, Odell Beckham Jr., he's just reminding people he's Odell Beckham Jr. Like, a lot of people were down on him, but I think part of that is Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield was terrible. Now, he heard the noise and he's woken up. They woke the beast, and now the Browns look decent, man. They look pretty good. You got two, probably going to have two 1,000-yard backs in Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. You got 2,000-yard receivers. Oh, he did go on IR.
Yeah.
Okay, but is it the 3-week or he done for the year?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that because I don't know.
I'm going to have to look at it too.
For the year. I'm going to check
okay. Because I got Christian McCaffrey in my fantasy, and they say 4 to 6 weeks. He on IR, but it's only 4 to 6 weeks, so he'll be back in 3 weeks. So,
oh man, they surprisingly look pretty good. But keep on with the Browns. What you were saying about the Browns?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be hard in that division because Pittsburgh and Baltimore are the toast of that division. They're two of the flagships of the AFC, so it's going to be hard for them to get past them. But I can see them getting in as a wild card if they can continue to do what they're doing. Now, defensively, they're going to have to make some more plays defensively. But I think if Baker, all Baker has to do is not turn the ball over, and them be a run first team and not turn the ball over, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, arguably the best running game.
And Njoku a dog too. And the two tight ends. And Njoku and Hooper. Yeah, man.
Baker has everything he needs around them for them to be a productive offense. But at the end of the day, I do still feel like if you can stop their run, then you can hold them down. Because I don't see him as a straight-up drop-back guy. When they get their run game going, Stefanski as a coach does a great job calling plays off of the run. Like you saw all the stuff they did yesterday. They put 50 on the Cowboys. But if you stop the run, you could stop the offense. Because I just know I thought I was gonna see more from Baker, but he's just not that guy, man. They're gonna have to change quarterbacks if they're gonna really want to win it. They're gonna make the playoffs this year though. Yeah,
I feel that. I think so. I see them getting in as one of the wild cards. I would say, I would say this. Who's your most surprising bad team this year? For me, it's Houston. Houston is 0-4. You shouldn't be 0-4 with a quarterback like Deshaun Watson.
So before I give mine, I'm gonna tell you why them being bad is not surprising to me. Bill O'Brien is a bad coach. He's
awful.
Also given the responsibility of being GM. They've never been mistaken for the steel curtain defensively. So, and then you look at who they played. They played the Chiefs. No, they wasn't going to beat them. They played the Ravens. No, they wasn't going to beat them. Who they played week 3? Who they play? I forgot.
Steelers.
Yeah, with Big Ben back, I felt like they were a better team. And even though Minnesota hasn't looked good through 3 weeks, if you ask me coming into the season who I picked between Minnesota and Houston, I would pick Minnesota.
Oh no doubt, no doubt.
Because they're overall they're a better team to me. I don't like
Eagles bad too. They awful.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by Houston. But let me think about the surprising bad team. The Eagles would have to be up there, but actually, I might have to say Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Even though Kirk Cousins isn't great, but they went to the playoffs and won a playoff game in New Orleans last year. I didn't see them starting 0-3.
Right. I said, when I did my interview with Fernando Ramirez. He covered the Chargers for Sports Illustrated, and I was talking to him. We were talking about rosters that are just talented from top to bottom. And for me, the Chargers are talented from top to bottom, Eagles talented from top to bottom, and Minnesota talented from top to bottom. So the Eagles and Minnesota are, man, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, for sure. Now the Chargers, I get it, but the Eagles and Minnesota, you got established quarterbacks. You should not be what you are right now.
But and then too, the thing with Carson Wentz, I'm not totally shocked about that either, because even how they snuck into the playoffs last year, they have very favorable schedule at the end there. They was playing Miami, the Giants, the now known Washington football team. And then a lot of those games, and I actually think the Dolphins beat them. Yeah, the Dolphins beat them. And when they start the year playing against, I thought they would beat a team like Washington. But if you look at the 49ers, and even though they won last night, this just happened. The Texans fired Bill O'Brien.
It just happened?
Yes.
Oh, man. You just got that. Oh, man. That's interesting. It's about time. It is about time.
And as a Jaguars fan, being in their division, I wish they would have kept him, because he's such a bad coach. Because now they don't have a chance to win something if they hire the right coach.
Yeah, they are.
So I don't really like that. But this is why I wasn't surprised that they started like this.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason is Deshaun. It's Deshaun, man. Deshaun is, I told you, man, I believed in Deshaun coming out. I mean, I didn't think that Dabo Swinney was putting a whole lot on it when he said that passing on Deshaun is like passing on Michael Jordan, because I knew how good Deshaun was. And I'm an Alabama fan, so I saw him twice in the championship game in back-to-back years. So, yeah, I knew exactly what you were going to get with Deshaun Watson. So I thought at least, man, he would be able to keep them treading water. And if they weren't a playoff team, at least 7-9, 8-8, something like that. But 0-4 is, man, I did not see that coming. And you traded your best weapon for a bag of chips. So
this is egregious. It was probably the most egregious trade I've ever seen since I've been watching sports. I know we've probably seen some crazy stuff, before the early 2000s, but because that's when I really started watching. But I haven't seen a trade that bad, ever for me.
Yeah,
and he just had to go.
So, what do you think about Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay,
man, I like it. Even when they lost their first game to the Saints, I was like, man, they barely had an off season, no preseason. The Saints have been together, so the Saints really should have won that game.
Yeah.
But since then, Tampa has looked pretty strong, man, and that's with injuries to their skill positions. They think even O.J. Howard tore his Achilles yesterday, and he caught a beautiful touchdown from Tom.
Dang. So many injuries, man. And that I was talking to somebody, I said, man, they say this is the most injuries they've seen in the first couple of weeks of NFL season ever. And say, what it's due to? A shortened training camp and no preseason. Dude, there's no other explanation because we've never seen this before.
And it makes sense for the few guys who decided to opt out. I mean, some of these guys are going to have some career-altering injuries.
Yeah, I seen that, Chris. Yeah, he said Bill O'Brien just got fired. But yeah, I seen those injuries, man. But with Tom, man, I'm not gonna lie. I like them for the NFC South now because watching Drew Brees, and I've seen this for 4 years of Drew Brees. I don't know if you paid attention. His arm, especially once they got to the playoffs, looked like it dies. His arm looks like it dies once they've hit the playoffs the last 4 years.
Yeah. And the Detroit started 14-0 yesterday, but they got blitzed after that. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if you saw the game or if you saw highlights of box score or anything, but
who Detroit played again?
The Saints. They were playing the Saints.
They played the Saints. Matt Patricia need to go.
He does. I don't think he's the answer for them, but
no,
I have to look back and see because I don't want to talk too down on Drew Brees if he played well yesterday. But I do see the decline. And he's not aging like Tom Brady to me.
No, he's not. And it'll be in spurts from time to time. Like he'll have a game here and there. Like did you watch them lose to Green Bay? I watched that game. And dude, that arm did not look good against Green Bay, man.
Wasn't good, man. And Green Bay up and down the field on them. They look like a real contender. They're gonna be up and down the field on Atlanta tonight. That's for
yes.
Sure.
Yes, they are.
So they're gonna be tough to come out of NFC.
Yes, they are, man. They're gonna kill Atlanta tonight. The Chiefs. We'll see what the Chiefs do. I'm mad Cam isn't playing. I'm so happy. I was so happy for Cam. I was so happy for Cam, man. I love Cam. Cam is the dude. Yeah. Yeah, but I think he'll come back strong and they'll compete with Buffalo for the title. I think Buffalo's going to win the AFC East. I think they should have that wrapped up. Barring major injury, they should have the East. They should win the East this year. But Cam in New England, healthy, is a playoff team for sure.
Yes, I think so.
Matter
of fact, since we're talking divisions, you want to run through the divisions and say who you think gonna win them?
Okay, we could do that. Say famous Jameis gonna slide in and become MVP. Hey, Jakari, dude, when they picked Jameis up, I said it's perfect. That is perfect for Jameis. He comes into an offense, already has weapons with a great head coach, a great organization. Look out for that when it's Jameis' turn, man. I believe that for sure. I think Jameis can do well in New Orleans.
If Breeze doesn't get hurt, though, they're probably not gonna put him in. But you want to?
Well, no, not this year. Not this year. Long as Breeze is healthy, not this year. But moving forward, probably next year. Yeah, I like Jameis as the Saints starting quarterback for sure.
It's just the interceptions. That's really all it is with him.
Yeah. So let's go AFC North. I got the Ravens. Ravens for the AFC North.
Yeah.
I got the Ravens because I think they can beat the Steelers for sure. AFC South, Tennessee. Tennessee's going to win the AFC South. They look the toughest, man.
The Colts,
because Jacksonville and Houston out. Yeah, it's just whatever.
Coming in, I thought it would be between the Colts and the Titans, but I don't know, man. The Colts just had that hiccup against us, but they look good outside of that.
They do look good.
But the reason why I may still lean Titans, you know what? I'm gonna say the Colts. But just to go back to what I was just gonna say, look, Rivers always has that timely mistake, and the Titans are good for making good on people's mistakes. So,
they are.
If he does that against them, they're gonna lose. But if he can manage to not do that, I actually like their team. I think top to bottom, especially since the Titans they lost Jarrell Casey, That was really good. He was really important to their defense.
Yeah.
Their secondary is suspect. They have strong receivers, about T.Y.L. and Paris Campbell and all those guys. I like Fawn Taylor, the running back. And their defense, man, they're coming alive. So I think if Rivers can keep the limit on
turnovers
mistakes,
now,
they should. I think they should win the division if he limits his mistakes.
Yeah, I can see that. AFC East, we already said it. Buffalo for sure in the AFC East. Yeah, strong. Strong. AFC West, Sam Tim.
We have to talk about it.
Do we have to talk about it? Sam Tim. It's Sam Tim's Chiefs. So it's the Chiefs in that division. Let's see, NFC North, Pack. I'm going with the Pack. Go Pack, go. Who you got?
I got Green Bay too. I would have picked them coming in, but I would have thought the division race would have been tighter between them and Minnesota. Closest team to Green Bay now is Chicago, and they can't hang with Green Bay.
No, they can't. Nick Foles turned back into a pumpkin.
Because he's been called the guy. Once you give him the keys, he's gonna crash the car. You know what I mean? If he has to come in relief, that's going to be his best.
Man, for sure. Let's see, NFC South, I like Tampa Bay. Saints are good, but I like Tampa Bay.
Now, 4 games in, I'm thinking the Bucks, but I'm not going to lie. When the season started, I picked the Saints just because the continuity already had. They've been down.
It may end up winning out.
They could. We have to see if Bree's arm can hold up. But if you ask me now, not before the year started, but now it's looking like Tampa.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay. NFC West, Seahawks. Arizona had 2 hiccups. I like Arizona. I've been banging the gong about Arizona because I watched them last year. They had 2 hiccups, but I still think they're a playoff team. They'll get it together. They got to figure out some things defensively because Bridgewater and that Carolina offense isn't a juggernaut by any means. So you got to figure some stuff out. But I think the Seahawks with Russell, they're just too strong, man, too strong.
Yeah, I got to go with Seattle based on what I've seen from them. Rams wouldn't shock me. But I just feel like the way Russell Wilson is playing, the defense is just good enough to complement Russell Wilson. Rams are pretty good. They're better than I thought they were going.
Rams are good. So it's gonna be a 3-team race over there. I don't think San Francisco can do anything. They lost half the team, man, in one game. So, matter of fact, they lost so many people in one game that the NFL investigated the turf at Giant Stadium.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. It was like it's too many players got hurt that game on both teams, and so they said they investigated the turf. Let's see what Jakari say. Hopefully, the Rams crash and burn for draft purposes. Yeah, we do have that first round pick. Hey, long as Jalen Ramsey ball out, I could care less.
I root against them every week, but they just keep winning. I mean, maybe their schedule is going to tighten up a little bit here down the stretch. They haven't played. The only team that they played is like really tough is Buffalo, and they lost that. So hopefully, once they start playing Seattle twice, and some of these other top dog NFC
Arizona
teams,
twice.
Maybe they'll lose some of those games because we need that pick to be as high as possible.
Hey, I'm on the Kyle Pitts bandwagon, bro. That kid is 6'6", 240, tight end for Florida. Yes, sir. Him or Patrick Surtain Jr. From Alabama. I take him. The Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes is what it is. I don't think we're going to go 1-15. But Trey Lance from North Dakota State. Remember we talked about him? Trey Lance, man. I like Trey Lance. So
right now, I feel like Gardner has shown me enough. Now we got to watch him play out the season, but if he kind of goes the way he's been playing the first 4 weeks, and we win a few more games, I like you said, he's way down on the list of issues. So I want to see him play with a team that has some of those other issues fixed. Let's get a real tight end. Let's get another wide receiver that they feel threatened by. Improve the offensive line a little bit, because the reality is in today's NFL, it's a scoring league, and everybody's defense looks pretty bad. Even the one defense that looked pretty good, the Ravens, looked bad against the Chiefs, and then ultimately, what you want to do is win it all. So if you don't score a lot of points, I think there was some crazy stat like last week.
I'll do that, Jakar.
Won last week scored less than 31 points. So I wanted this year for them to focus more on offense in the early rounds. I hope they do next year.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I saw a stat where was watching the Rams and the Giants. That was the first game of the season where at least 2 touchdowns weren't scored in the game. I say, man, that's something, man. That's something by both teams. I think by both teams, 2 touchdowns by both teams. Yeah, it might be because
the only game where each team didn't score at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, because the Giants scored 9 points.
Yeah, that's the only time that's going to happen this year. The way these defenses are playing.
And it's funny because defense is ahead of offenses early in the year, and offenses catch up. And once they hit by mid-year, then they start to get cranked up and score a lot of points. But it's been out the gate, man. Points galore. So I think it's a sign of things to come. So last and definitely least, the NFC least. Dude, I commented Hendrix Monet on Facebook. She talking about, she put up the standings for that division. She like, don't nobody want to win the division. I say, yeah, they playing a hot potato with the division crown. They throwing it back and forth to each other, man. Like nobody wants to win over there. Cowboys terrible. Awful. Giants are awful. The Washington football team is awful. I mean, the Eagles are going to trip and fall into a division crown. I see it happening,
like they did last year.
Yeah, basically.
And this is why I don't see them winning a Super Bowl anytime in the near future, because as long as they just benefit from playing in a bad division and they keep getting into the playoffs like that, what's going to happen when they play the team in the wild card round that's really an 11 or 12 win team, but just can't play at home because they're in a division where a team who won 13 or 14 games. That 11 or 12 win team is going to come in and pound on them and move on to the next round. That's what's going to happen every year.
Right. Yeah, because like the Seahawks came in and they knocked Carson out the game and was off to the next round. So, I mean, I can see the same thing happening again. There'll be a division team with probably a 8-8 record hosting the playoff game. You know how people hate that. Like 11, 12 win team should not be going on the road to play somebody in the playoffs, like especially an 8-8 team at home. But hey, you win your division, that is the reward. You get to play at home.
Yeah, the NFC East is by far the worst division in football. But right now, it's looking like the AFC North might be the best. AFC North.
Yeah.
It was looking like the NFC West until the Cardinals had those hiccups that you talked about. But, I mean, they got 3-1, 3-1, 3-0. Steelers, Ravens, and Browns.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I think this year, hopefully COVID doesn't stop a whole lot, but I think the NFL has been, they've handled it well so far. I'm very shocked. They've handled it very, very well. And I think they're going to continue to handle it well as the season goes on, because they say they planned for this, and that's why they expanded the practice squad. They expanded the rosters because they knew players were going to test positive. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. So now they're dealing with that. So, but for the most part, man, they look like they're doing what they need to do, except the Tennessee Titans, which I heard they got in trouble for some COVID protocols that they weren't following. supposedly, which is why it got them shut down this week.
Yeah, I think they're gonna play that game in week 7.
I think that is what they said. Yeah. So
those two teams are essentially taking their bye week this week.
Pretty much.
They originally were gonna take it.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Let's transition out of football. Let's go into a little NBA before we get out of here. And all right, I remember you and I can't remember my man's name, who's on Man Theory. And we filmed with him. Matt. Matt was just, he was, hey, man, Miami got this and Miami got that. And I heard all of that and I got all of that. But what mattered last night was Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets happened last night. And, hey, I'm happy with Jimmy. I love Jimmy. I think Jimmy should stake his claim as a superstar in this league. And after a performance like that, it should be noted that that's what he should be, because his last, 3 stops, they were all playoff teams, and previously they weren't before he got there. So that's what Jimmy Butler is. But Jimmy Butler is a 18.8 points per game career playoff player. A 40-point triple-double ain't happening no more. No. So I think, you need Bam and Goran. If you want a shot, you got to get Bam and get Drago back on the court, man. That's the only way you got a shot.
Drago is not coming back. He's got plantar fascia, that foot injury.
Oh, so he's done.
I mean, they're not completely ruling it out, but they might as well. People don't know.
Yeah, plantar fascia is. Yeah.
Bad. I think Bam had like a shoulder or neck thing. Is that right?
Yeah, his shoulder. I think it's his shoulder.
Yeah. He need to try to get back in that game because them winning a game without Dragic or Bam, I thought was impossible.
I did too.
The house on that against them, but
yeah,
Jimmy did what he had to do. But if they get Bam back, things could get interesting. I thought going into this series that, and obviously the Lakers will win, but they have those 04 Piston vibes where they don't necessarily have a superstar, but they're committed to the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
They crash the boards. They do what they got to do on as far as like the little stuff to win games. And then they transition into offense with their good defense, because it makes offense easier when you play the good defense, and that's how the Pistons won. And that's kind of how Miami plays.
Yeah. Now the one thing about Miami is that they came out with their hair on fire. I mean, you had no choice. You're down 2-0, and you about to go down 3-0. And you know what happens at 3-0? It's pretty much a wrap. Nobody's ever come back. It's over. So they came out with their hair on fire. Now, for the Lakers, they look at this game, and you should be angry, because I don't think Miami made some adjustments. They played defense a lot better, because defense is about effort. It's so much X's and O's, but it's about effort on defense. They figured out with Anthony Davis, they double teamed him. Andre Iguodala was a pest and got up under Anthony Davis every chance he could. But the Lakers looking at this game, all you have to do is not turn the ball over and rebound. If you don't turn the ball over, you cut your turnovers in half, and you plus rebound them by maybe 5 to 7, you probably win the game. But they had 16 turnovers in the first half alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was turnovers, and it was also them making a non-factor out of Dwight Howard, with having Myers Leonard in there, and Kelly Olynyk being stretched 4 and 5 guys, pulling them out of the paint. And then the other thing was, so you had the turnovers, you had that, and then AD was in foul trouble. Yeah, that was the other thing.
Yes, AD was in foul trouble.
They have to find a way to get into his body on the offensive end with whoever he's defending, and see if they can get him to foul, because that helped them a lot too. The less minutes he plays, the better chance they're going to have to win, because really outside
Yeah.
of AD and LeBron, the Lakers are not a great team. So if they could limit the production of one of those guys, LeBron or AD, that's going to be their only chance to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree, man, because you saw it. Even with AD struggling and foul trouble and them double teaming him, dude, KCP, yeah. Danny Green, yeah. Even Rondo, 2 points, yeah. Kyle Kuzma, yeah. No, Kyle. No, I would say, didn't Kyle have 18 points? I think Kyle had 18 points. So yeah, I think he had 18 points. So I can't crap on Kyle, even though they asked him about the criticism of him over the last, just pretty much playoffs. He said, "Dude, I dyed my hair blonde this year. You think I really care about criticism?"
Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't think they have a lot going outside of him.
Yeah.
I believe Miami will end up losing this series, but they need to be in on the Giannis sweepstakes. They need to get in on that. Because if they get him, they can win it. If they could get this far without having a superstar, if they get Giannis, they could almost easily win it, because I think what holds him back in Milwaukee is Budenholzer. He's a pretty good coach, but he's not Spo. Or Pat Riley, who kind of coaches them from upstairs too. But I think if Giannis was to play in Miami, there's no way.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, bricks galore.
And if they build a brick wall around Giannis in Miami, you got Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and all these guys who can make these 3-point shots, Kelly Olynyk, Jay Crowder. You can't build a wall around him. And then if he has Bam, you building a wall to keep Giannis from getting in the paint. He throws it to Bam, in the foul line or along the baseline or something like that. You're expecting one guy to stop him from getting to the basket and doing what he wanted to do. That's not going to work. So if they were to get Giannis, I think the East will come down to Miami and Brooklyn next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. With Giannis, dude, I mean, Giannis develops a shot, it's a wrap for the rest of the league. He develops a shot. It's really, at least for the next couple of years. And they get wherever he goes, they have pieces. Like, even if he goes to Miami, it could possibly be a wrap, but he goes to Miami and he develops a competent shot. It could be a wrap for sure. So
flashed it a little bit this year.
Yeah, he played just a little bit. You could tell he's been working. But if Rondo can improve his shooting, Giannis can improve his shooting. Sure.
Yeah, because Rondo was terrible for most of his career.
He's shooting 45% from three in the playoffs right now, which is insane.
Yeah. I'd love to see him go to Miami, but what about the Clippers, though? Are you one of the ones they were going to win it?
Man, well, I will say this. I drunk the Kool-Aid on them being able to maybe knock off the Lakers. I didn't have them as a championship, them beating the Lakers, but I had them drinking the Kool-Aid as them being the biggest threat to the Lakers. I did, because, they can't do – I forgot the guy's name. He came on TV. He's like, listen, we talking about the best defensive backcourt since MJ and Scottie Pippen. We talking about a team full of dark-skinned dudes, not light-skinned dudes. We talking about dudes who eat meat raw with their bare hands. Like they were hyping these guys up, man. You got Trez and you got Patrick, man. You got Lemon Pepper Lou. Dude, you got all these guys, man. But I was one of the few that questioned, because I had on my podcast and I was just doing audio. I wasn't doing video like I was. And I said on my podcast, I say, all these things you told me, did anybody stop and think that Paul George isn't that guy? And sure enough, because I was an Oklahoma City fan for a long time, because I followed Kevin Durant his last year of high school. Then I watched him when he tore it up at Texas that one year. He got drafted by the Supersonics in Seattle, and then they moved to Oklahoma City. And so I follow Oklahoma City, and I'm drafting Harden, drafting Westbrook, drafting Ibaka, Nick Collison, Kendrick Perkins, Cephalosha, all those guys. I followed that team. I was knee deep in Oklahoma City basketball, man. So when he came to Oklahoma City and they paired him with Russ, I said, man, this might be a good pairing. I saw it then. I said, Paul George isn't that guy. And I understand why Skip Bayless gives him the grief he gives him. I wouldn't be disrespectful calling George Paul like he do. But I saw it.
Yeah, man. That's the part of it, because I picked them to win it. I drunk the Kool-Aid, all the way drunk the Kool-Aid. And I was
Pandemic P.
You can't put any trust in this guy, man. Like, he would just look like a jag, just a guy. It will come play out time in a lot of games. He just looks like a guy out there. In a regular season, he looked really good. I remember the playoff runs of Indiana. Some of them, he was pretty good. But, man,
pretty good.
After that last year in Indiana, and then, when they got swept, and then the years in OKC, and then now, Pandemic P should be his new name, man, because it just doesn't look good. Kawhi can't depend on them to really be that second guy. I think they're going to have to, with all these teams up and coming, especially in the West, they're going to need more than Paul George. They're going to have to get somebody else or do something, because Paul George and Kawhi, after they lost to Denver, I no longer believe they could beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. That's number one.
That ship is sailed.
I think if they play Denver again, Denver will beat them again, because they're only going to be better next year.
I think if they play Dallas again and Dallas is completely healthy, they can't beat Dallas either.
Yeah, they looked questionable when Porzingis was in there, man. They just they're not like what we thought they were going to be, man. And in fact, some of that could have to do with Doc Rivers, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
maybe
it just, based on what we saw, they're going to have to do some adjusting.
Yeah, no, they are. But you see, I don't think Doc was necessarily the issue, man. You saw how quickly he got a job. Doc is a good coach through and through, So, we'll see.
What I have to say, just like to play devil's advocate, he always chokes away 3-1 leads. He's done it more times than any coach in NBA history, man. Going back to the Magic with T-Mac. He did it with them.
It's funny. I heard a stat about him the other day that made me like really, man, that's amazing. He has the most Game 7 wins in NBA history, and then he has lost the most Game 7s in NBA history. He's 6 for 8.
Out of those,
that's crazy.
That he was even in is because of 3-1 deficits, and then his teams always tend to have those flat games in 7-game series. They're always saying, "Oh, we didn't have the energy." This is even back to when he won the championship with Boston. I don't know if you remember, but every Eastern Conference series they played went to 7 games. Now, if you look back and you think about those teams that they had, you would think that they ran through everybody. I mean, they played better against the Lakers than they did, in the Eastern Conference that year. And when you think about that, it's like, what is it about Doc Rivers that has them? Because clearly the Lakers would have beaten any of those Eastern Conference teams that Boston beat that year.
Yeah.
But they always have these flat games, and that might have something to do with Doc. And if you're going to coach Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, whose will has been questioned, I don't have a lot of high hopes for that team. Even with
not right as Philadelphia currently constructed. They're not. They may be an 8th seed, but Ben Simmons or Embiid has to go. They can't be on this court together anymore. One does have to go. If me personally, Ben Simmons is gone, and I'm building around Embiid. It is a gamble because Embiid is, he stays broke. But I just think that he's a better bet going forward than a Ben Simmons. And I like Ben. but I don't. No, I don't think so.
Man, it's both of them are so flawed in their mental.
Mm-hmm.
Because even Embiid, a lot of times Shaq kills Embiid because he sees so much potential in him. He kills him because like he goes up against barbecue chicken and he's
Yeah.
not as aggressive as he needs to be. And sometimes he don't look like he's in shape like he should be. And then Ben
Yeah.
Simmons, he takes his foot off the gas, won't take a shot. You know, has a terrible jump shot, which I guess he kind of flashed about that much, a little improvement on
Yeah.
his jump shot too. It's something for me. It's like a coin flip, man, because they both are mentally flawed, and I feel like uh, Ben Simmons needs someone like a Coach Spo. I know he's not going down to Miami or nothing like that, but he
Mm-hmm.
needs somebody that'll get into him and demand that he does all the little things and demand that he, you know, play hard and be aggressive. Because if you don't stay in his face about that, he will get really passive
Mm-hmm.
and teams lay off of him and focus on the other four guys and your offense
Mm-hmm.
implodes. You know, and
Yeah.
sometimes Joel Embiid gets too jump shot happy, and I see why Jimmy wanted to leave, basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was understandable for sure, man. Um. Yeah. Jimmy is a no nonsense kind of guy. He is a perfect fit for the Miami Heat. I think Jimmy embodies what you want in South Beach. And what type of player, what type of team you want to construct, man. I know it was funny, man. I was watching the game last night. I was at my mom's house watching the game with her, and I said, "Yo, every time Jimmy has the ball in his hand, yo, I just hear John Legend singing that "Call the Police" from Django." I was like, dude, because he looked just like Django, man. He looked like just like Jamie Foxx in Django, man, for sure. But
Yeah.
just uh, he he's like, it's so funny, man, because you got stars, you got superstars, and he was right on the edge. Always to me, he's been on the edge for a few years. But even regardless of the result of this series, I put Jimmy Buckets up there as a superstar. I think he
Yes.
staked his claim as being just that. Yeah, yeah,
He
an unmanned,
impacts
undermanned team.
he
Yeah.
impacts the game as much as anybody in the league, even though he doesn't have that one thing that he does, better than everyone else. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
score like everyone else, like KD and LeBron and all those guys. Doesn't rebound like
Yeah.
some of the great rebounding big men. He doesn't
Yeah. He's
assist.
not a facilitator.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But he does it all,
Yes.
enough to impact the game. Plus, the 50-50 balls, he's always going to get those. He's going to play hard
Mm-hmm.
defense. You know what I mean? He doesn't get tired. He seems to get stronger as the game goes on. It's those
Mm-hmm.
ways that he impact the game
Yeah.
that to me makes him a superstar. Timely steals and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Uh, he's a superstar because of those things, especially after this playoff run.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. But yo, man, we about an hour in, so we're gonna go ahead, wrap it up, dude. Man, it's been great talking with you, catching up, man. Hopefully, I see you at the next filming. So we get some, we could chop it up a little bit more, man. But tell the people about you, your socials, anything you want to talk about or bring attention to, whatever, man.
Yeah, appreciate you for having me, man. It was definitely fun. But from a business sense, I don't know where your listeners are located, but if they're in the North Florida area, we're here in Jacksonville. I'm a realtor, a licensed realtor. I sell homes and I help people find homes that they want to buy. So if you want to do that, you can find
Mm-hmm.
me on social media at underscore get the keys 247 on Instagram and Facebook. If you just type in get the keys 247 all together, you'll find me
Mm-hmm.
there. I also just put out a book recently called Better Late Than Never,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically written for people who feel like time has passed them by and that they don't have, enough time left to accomplish something great. And I'm just throwing a random age out there, but maybe you're 30 years old and you feel like, you wasted too much time to do anything good in this world, and that's not the case. You have more life ahead of you than you do behind you, and you can get that at betterlatethebook.com. And the last thing I want to say about the book is that it's not just me talking from a place of like I'm better than people, because I speak through experts in that book. I speak with a CPA, accountant, tax expert about budgeting. So it's not my budget advice, it's hers. I speak with a credit expert, Jeremy Goodson of Absolute Credit Solutions. My advice on credit is not my advice, it's his advice. But other stuff I talk about in terms of like not comparing yourself to other people, how important it is to self-reflect. That is more so my advice, but I use different voices to bring home how you can, change your situation.
Man, that's powerful, man. Yo, I got to check that book out, man, because man, I believe in that. Like even with me and my personal journey, man, I feel like it took me some time to really get to where I, basically get on the right track. But I mean, now that I'm where I want to be and I see my lane, dude, it's full speed. I'm wide open. And one thing I remember, I can't remember the guy's name on Twitter, but he was talking about it. He said, don't worry about when you start to accomplish. He said, or when you acquire things or you start to do things, because once you start, it's going to be like you were always doing it anyway. He said, so don't let, don't let the opinions of others and comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare your lives to others, do it at your own pace. My senior quote graduating from high school was from Abraham Lincoln. I had heard it when I was real young. He said, I'm a slow walker, but I never walk back. You might moving at a slow pace, but everybody knows slow motion is better than no motion, for sure.
That's absolute fact, and that's pretty much what it's based around. And
I
wrote that book more for myself, as much for myself as for everybody else, because I felt like I had let some time pass me by, and it wasn't until I realized, doing something is better than doing nothing. And then that's how I guess I got on the trajectory that I'm currently on.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, people, remember to like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube. You see it down there on the banner, True Definition of a Sports Fanatic. Subscribe to the podcast. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Dude, I'm about to pump out the videos, man. I'm about to go in on the videos. I'm gonna continue to do these live streams, but I'm trying to do my goal. Maybe want to do maybe a video a day. I'm gonna try to start that. I'm just pick a topic, do a 5-10 minute video, and just keep pumping them out, man. That's the goal. That's what I want to do. So, man, hey, I'm trying to get it, man. Share your boy with the world. You know what I'm saying? Share your boy with the world, man. But hey, stay on, Jason. I'm about to end the broadcast. But hey, until next time, man. I'll talk to y'all guys later. Peace out.